92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
It's my experience that people get upset when you lie on your dating profile.
Yes, especially when it's a bad picture.
Yeah, anytime I've been on an online dating site and had my profile up there, people are always disappointed when I show up and they realize I'm not a 42-year-old woman who just wants to go berry picking on the weekends. And I don't get why they get so angry, you know. Yeah.
And I thought you were just going to lie about your height.
Daisy is on the phone with us, and Daisy, I guess you wouldn't say you lie on your dating profile, but you omit something on your dating profile that you think could have led to a guy not calling you back, right?
Correct, yes.
There is an important detail about Daisy that she
there
doesn't share on her dating profile. Because she met the guy on what website?
Met him on OkCupid.
All right. Which, if you're going to talk about like dating websites, that's like the Burien of dating websites. It's not quite the bottom, but it's not necessarily the best either.
Yeah. What is it? You have like 11 fingers or something?
No, I have the right number of fingers, but in addition to the right number of fingers, I also have a son.
Oh.
And when I did have that on my profile, when I was honest about that, I got a lot fewer responses. So now I just don't put it on there. But I do always tell the person, you know, on like the first date. It's not like I try and keep it secret, you know, indefinitely or anything like that.
So you're not hiding your son. You just don't want it to be something that is defining you in the world of dating.
Exactly. I just kind of want to get my foot in the door, and then I tell them. Exactly.
Is the reaction usually pretty good when you tell guys on a first date, like, oh, by the way, I have a kid. You didn't see that on my dating profile, but surprise.
It's kind of mixed. Some guys are okay with it. Some people are totally offended that, you know, I lied on my profile.
If it were me, as soon as you told me that, you would just see a cloud of dust like in a cartoon. I'd be out of there.
I totally understand that, and that's why I tell people on the first date, because, you know, I don't want to lie. I just want a chance to tell them face to face, because I think that sometimes can make a difference.
So what was it like when you told him on the first date, when you guys were out to dinner?
Well, his name's Alex, and we ordered dinner, and I told him after the food came, and I was just kind of like, so I have a kid. Not the smoothest way I've ever done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's your steak? It's pretty good. I have a kid.
I have a child.
So it wasn't the smoothest way to break the news to him that you had
No, it wasn't my best.
And what did he do?
I was watching him, you know, because I wanted to see his reaction. And he sort of stopped and just looked at me and said, oh, that's cool. And then sort of went on. So, I mean, it wasn't horribly positive, but it wasn't horribly negative. It was just sort of generic.
I think that's just a polite way of being like, ouch.
Yeah.
Really? You think so?
I think so.
Or
yeah.
maybe he's just saying, why are you being so awkward about it? That's cool. Like, you have a kid.
I don't think so. You'd want to be like, did he ask you about how old your kid is and what sort of kid it is?
It is?
He did, you know, he asked about, you know, is it a girl or a boy? How old is your child?
That's
Well,
cool.
then maybe it was, because if he didn't ask any of those questions, he was just like, oh, cool, moving on.
Yeah.
Then it was obviously something that he didn't like. But if he was asking you questions, he might have been like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How did the date end? I mean, were you guys having a good time? And
Yeah, it ended nicely. I mean, he had picked me up, so at the end he drove me home. He gave me a kiss on the cheek, which I actually liked. I thought that was really sweet and, you know, like respectful and stuff. I totally like that.
And it says, I'm not totally grossed out to touch you, but I don't want to move too fast.
And the last time you did more than that, you got pregnant.
So you don't want to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was it. And then I called him the next day, and I left him a message and just said, you know, that I had a really great time, and I appreciated how gentlemanly he was and everything like that. But he never called me back. So.
Okay. And you haven't heard anything from him. Have you tried more than just that one time?
Yeah, I called him a couple other times, but I didn't leave another message. It just went straight to voicemail, you know, but I didn't leave another message.
Okay, well, we'll play a song, come back, call him, see if we can get him on the phone and get your second date update, okay?
Great, thanks.
Hold on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Daisy is on the phone with us right now. She wants to call a dude named Alex. She met him online, okcupid.com. Daisy thinks that the date went poorly once she revealed that she has a kid, because she doesn't put on her dating profile that she is a mom because she doesn't want to scare guys off. But you have a rule, Daisy, that you always tell them on the first date, and then they can make their judgment from there, right?
Correct.
Okay. And that's the only thing you can think of that he wouldn't be calling you back is because he doesn't want to be an Insta dad.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can think of because I thought we had a good time, except for, there was that. So
But why would you want to talk to a guy who isn't interested in someone with a kid? I mean, you're not going to change that you have a kid.
Yeah, well, I guess I want to know for sure, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just speculating. We don't know that the kid is the reason. It could be something else.
right.
Okay. Well, we're going to call him, see if we can get him on the phone, and find out what went wrong, if anything did go wrong on your date, okay?
Okay.
Hang on.
Hello?
Hey, I was looking for Alex.
Yeah, this is Alex.
Alex, how you doing, man? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. I'm moving 92.5.
I'm sorry, who is this?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning on the radio station moving 92.5. How are you?
I'm fine. You're calling from the radio station?
Yes.
Okay, why?
Well, I'm calling you because you recently went out on a date with a listener of ours.
That's kind of weird.
It is.
A woman named Daisy. Yeah, we'll admit it is not a normal to receive this kind of phone call. A woman named Daisy that you recently went out with emailed the show saying that she really enjoyed your time together, but you've been blowing her off and haven't been answering her phone calls. So she said, hey, can you give Alex a call and see if you can find out if I did something wrong? So that's why we're calling you, Alex.
Okay.
Do you remember going out with Daisy?
Yeah, I had dinner with Daisy.
Did you like Daisy?
We had a fine time. Dinner was fine.
Daisy told us that she doesn't put on her dating profile that she's a mom, and she kind of dropped that at dinner. Did that scare you off?
I mean, I wouldn't say that scared me off. I mean, it was a little surprising that, that's like a big part of a person's life. And like in other profiles, I feel like that information was on there. So it was a little bit shocking that she just sort of dropped that in the middle of our dinner. But, I'm not against dating someone who has a kid.
Okay, so that wasn't it then.
No.
Do you want to see her again?
Your voice just got so
Yeah, your
high.
voice got so high pitched, dude. I'm taking that as a no, Alex. You're not necessarily into Daisy.
Honestly, the date got a little weird, and so I don't think that I would want to see her again.
Define weird, if you could.
This is weird to talk about with strangers on the phone, but towards the end of the meal, like she sort of got kind of quiet and emotional and sort of intense, and then she told me that her car was in the shop, which I knew because I had to drive. She asked me if I could pick her up, which is totally fine. But then she asked me if she could borrow some money to help pay for the car repair.
No, stop
She
it.
asked for a loan on your first date?
Like how much money?
Like $700.
Oh, jeez.
She just didn't have. She was waiting for a paycheck the next week or whatever, and
Oh,
would get me
no.
back the next week. But she was in this tight spot, and it was really affecting, her kid's life and her life and
Oh,
whatnot. And
boy.
Oh, gosh.
no.
What
How
did
did
you
she bring
say?
that up? Did she just say, hey, can I borrow $700?
No, I mean it wasn't like that. I felt like she felt uncomfortable having to ask, but it was just really weird. And I was like, I don't really have that kind of cash flow. I don't have $700 to give to someone that I've met like 45 minutes ago. But I understand, people are in a tough spot, like car repairs.
Yeah.
So, but then she's like, well, what about like $400? Like I have another friend that I could get the rest from.
She was bargaining with you?
Yeah, so then she bumped it down to $4, and I was like, just as a general policy, I don't do loans on first dates. And then,
Yeah.
we had dessert, we went home, and I, got out of there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so awful.
I have a tough
so
time
many levels.
loaning money to good friends of mine, let alone somebody that I just went out on a date with.
It seemed like a situation I didn't want to get into, so.
Not to make things weirder
Ugh.
than they already are for you, but Daisy is actually on the phone and heard everything that you just said.
Hey, Alex.
Is it that's Daisy on the phone?
Yep.
It's me.
Hi?
Daisy, did you failed to tell us that you asked him for a loan on your first date, Daisy.
It was just one little question. You know what I mean? It didn't.
Huge question.
Daisy, that's a $700 question.
I was going to be able to pay him back by Friday. I mean, I got paid on Friday. It wasn't like I was never going to pay him back or going to drag this out or anything like that. And, I mean, what am I going to do? I can't ask my ex-husband. He's a jerk. You know, so it just, to me, it was like a little question. And I didn't hold it against him at all that he said no. So I guess it never dawned on me that he would hold it against me that I asked.
Yeah, but I don't know you. It just seems so weird that you would think that it was okay to ask to borrow money. Don't you think that's weird?
To me, it's just like, there's no harm in asking. You know what I mean? I thought we were having a good time. It seemed like you would become a friend. And you never know until you ask. And like I said, there was no hard feelings that you said no, so it just never occurred to me that it would create hard feelings that I asked.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Alex. Daisy's not pissed at you that you turned down.
Opportunity to loan me money.
Wait, why are we worried about whether she's pissed? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, it's super weird to ask to borrow money. I mean, I don't ask friends for money. That's like something you ask family. Like, do you have an uncle or like a cousin or something? Like, rather than asking someone that you just met on a first date?
I mean, I suppose if I had someone else, I would have asked them, you know, but it feels like, to me, it seems like super judgy to make assumptions about a person based on one question that they asked, you know?
Daisy, if I went out on a date with someone and they started telling me they were having money problems and then asked me for cash, I'm going to judge them.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm going to say that you're trying to, like, milk me out of money, especially if I met you online. I don't know you at all. Not a lot of trust can be had in a person that you just met on a first date asking for money.
I mean, I get what you guys are saying. I totally do. And I just didn't look at it that way because I am totally honest, and I did have the money on Friday. I would have totally paid him back. So it didn't dawn on me that, you know, people would jump to that conclusion. Regardless of all of that, I did have a really great time on our date, and I would like to see you again.
Alex, would you like to go out with Daisy again?
Please.
We will pay for a second date. Daisy, I'm not paying for any car repairs.
Guys, be
But
nice.
we will
Stop
pay for
attacking
a second
Daisy.
date if you'll go out with Daisy again, Alex.
You know what? I will. I'll go out with her again. I mean, it was a really awkward, weird first date, but that's not the first awkward first date I've had.
Wow.
All right.
Awesome.
Nice.
Daisy, you
Congratulations, you two.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
They're cute.
Alex, don't leave your wallet out on the table.
Oh, Jubal flag.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Sometimes when selecting an email for a second date update, you choose one based on the content that's inside the email. Sometimes you look at the subject line and go, yeah, we're going to do a second date update on this one. The subject line for this email simply said, I liked her butt.
Genius.
That was it.
Yes.
So I was like, of course, we're going to do a second date update on this email. Corey is on the phone with us right now. And Corey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for the email. So does this butt that you liked have a name?
Yes.
Yeah. Her name was Autumn.
Autumn. Okay. And how did you meet Autumn?
We were in the coffee shop, and we were sort of checking each other out. And I was like, I just said like, hey.
Sounds like you are a smooth operator.
Yeah. I have all the good lines.
All right. So that's it. That's how you get a lady's number at the coffee shop. I just, hey.
But man, you'd be surprised how often that works. And they're just like, hey, and then it's like, wow, this is a great place. Yeah. Coffee shop.
So you started
and
up,
then,
you started up a conversation with her.
You
and
must
then-
be hot, Corey.
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking.
Did you like say to her, hey, I like your butt a lot. Like you got back for days. Yeah, my name's Corey.
She was in front of me in line, so it was weird because I kept like talking to her because I wanted to talk to her to meet her so that I could get to know her and her butt. But then every time,
I'm glad you acknowledged there's more to her than her butt.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
She's
wanna
a whole person.
Get to know her personality as well as her butt's personality.
but then like every time I would talk to her, she would like turn around and face me, and I would be like, oh man, but no, now I can't see her butt again. So then I would like be quiet for a
my
minute, so
God.
she would turn back around.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I know, it was a bit ridiculous, but but it worked, and I got a date out of it, and I invited her to go play some old school video games with me at this arcade.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we had a good time. I mean, she was killing it on the Miss Pac-Man machine. And but then she was like, "Oh, I got to get going." She kept like talking about like how she had to get home soon. And I was like, "Oh, come on, we're having fun, like let's hang out." And I was like, "Let's go get a drink." I'm thinking maybe she doesn't want to be in the arcade anymore. I was like, "What do you have to get home for? What do you have to work tomorrow? What's happening?" And
You didn't
was like,
hound her. Did you actually hound her like that? Because then I could understand her not wanting to call you back. Like, you're like, "What do you mean you got to go home?" No.
What do you mean you're employed?
Yeah, I was totally like, "Yeah, what's the matter? Why don't you hang out?"
Yeah, was it like that?
I was cool about it.
Okay, I was like, the way you're describing it sounds like you were pressuring her into hanging out.
And because I will say there's a fine line, Corey, between like teasing and then a girl actually feeling you're being mean.
I think I was being nice about it. Sometimes people are like, I feel like hanging out, but I need to be sort of like convinced to really just like hang out. And they just like want someone to give them permission to like not be responsible.
Peer pressured into making a mistake is what you're saying.
Corey, is there any chance she caught you checking out her butt like 8 times?
Well, I mean, there is a good chance that happened because, like, that did happen.
Because, like, I couldn't stop looking at it.
Yeah, like we were playing one of the games, right? We were, like, sort of, like, playing each other. And, like, a couple times I actually killed my guy early so that I could just, like, stand back and, like, watch her play the game a little bit.
Nice move, dude.
I didn't tell her that, though. So,
Okay.
I'm just telling you guys that.
All right, but she may have noticed. I mean, if you're this obsessed with her butt, she might have noticed.
Maybe.
How did everything end with you guys? Did she say she wanted to see you again?
Well, I mean, she didn't say she wanted to see me again, like, exactly, but, like, I was feeling vibes, and, like, we totally kissed at the end of the night, and, like, I really got the feeling she was having a good time, but was just kind of being, like, shy. I texted her the next day and was like, "Hey, I had a lot of fun," and then, like, I didn't hear back.
So she hasn't responded to any of your texts or phone calls or anything?
No, like, not even, like, yeah, sorry, not interested.
Not even like a butt selfie. What a prude.
Not even a butt selfie.
Yeah, that's rude.
Ugh.
All right, well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, okay?
Awesome, man, thanks.
All right, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Guys always define themselves by which part of the female body they're into. Are you a leg man? Are you a boob man? Jose calls himself a pulse man.
Are
You got
any-
a pulse and you're breathing. That's pretty much all he needs. He's a pulse man. Corey on the phone for today's second date update would describe himself as a butt man. Would you say that's correct, Corey?
Yeah, I like butts. What can I say?
Just sad there's no personality men. Brain and intelligence men.
Yeah, that comes later.
Okay.
Corey emailed us about a second date update that he wanted to do, and the subject line for his email simply said, "I liked her butt."
Nice.
We talked to Corey earlier about his date with Autumn. They went and played video games. Seems that they had a good time. Corey can't think of any reason she wouldn't be calling him back. We're about to give her a call right now. There's absolutely nothing you can think of, Corey. The date went perfectly well, in your opinion.
Yeah, we had a great time. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I need your help.
All right. Well, we're going to give her a call right now, see if her butt answers. Because the way you talked about it, I'm assuming it has hands and a personality and everything. We're going to call her right now, see if we can get her on the phone, okay?
Cool.
Hello?
Can I speak to Autumn, please?
This is she.
Hey, Autumn, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. I'm moving 92.5.
Sorry, who is this?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning on the radio station moving 92.5. How are you?
Okay.
Have you heard our show before?
No.
Well, we do a morning show on moving 92.5 from 6 to 10 every morning. You should check it out at some point because you're on it right now.
I'm on the show.
Yep.
Why?
Well, because you recently went on a date with one of our listeners.
Okay.
And they liked you a lot, but you aren't calling them back. Remember going out with a guy named Corey?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Well, Corey liked you a lot, Corey listens to our show, so he emailed us and was like, hey, I'm having problems with this girl, Autumn. I can't get her to call me back, and I'd like to see her again. Can you guys find out if I did something wrong? Did you enjoy your date with Corey?
It was not great. No, it was not great.
Do you mind telling us what wasn't good about it?
Yeah, and you need to broadcast to the world so nobody ever goes out with this pervert again.
What did he do?
Whoa.
He live tweeted the entire date.
Live tweeted?
He was live tweeting your date?
Tweeted, yes. And posted pictures of my butt in almost every tweet that he sent out.
Oh, my God.
What?
Really?
Yeah. Almost every tweet had a link that was a picture of my ass.
What?
And then his hashtag was literally loving the booty. I have no idea how he did it because I didn't even see him. So he would come up behind me, I guess, and just take pictures of my butt when he was pretending to play video games. I don't know.
That is so
do not
creepy.
know. Oh, the creepiest.
Did he tell you that he was going to be live tweeting your date, which is weird in the first place? But did he tell you that?
No, he didn't tell me anything. He did not say anything. I went to his Facebook, and there was a Twitter link to his Twitter, and I went to that and saw.
So he didn't even hide it well.
What? No, he didn't even try to. I was mortified, and obviously my friends were like, okay, done.
Yeah,
Right.
true.
Hey, Corey?
Yeah.
Autumn, Corey is actually on the other line.
Oh, my
And
God.
heard what you just said.
Hey, Autumn.
You're disgusting.
Listen, it's not like I put your name on it or anything, and like if you hadn't said anything, like nobody would ever know this anyway, you know?
He does have a point, Autumn. You're anonymous online. Like, he didn't tag your Twitter in it or anything else, did he?
Well, he didn't tag my Twitter because he didn't go and follow me on Twitter, but you did say my name. You said Autumn in one of the first tweets you put on there. And I don't care if it doesn't say my last name. Like, that's my body. Like, you didn't get permission to just, like, post my body online.
I know, but we were like in a public place. I mean, it's like you're playing a video game, you know? It's not like we were in bed or anything like that.
Weird.
That doesn't make it better.
Dude, you took a picture of me when I'm playing Pac-Man, and I was bent over. You turned around and gave a thumbs up.
Nice.
Autumn, you just gotta relax. I mean, it's not like you were naked or anything.
Oh, gosh.
Dude, who gives a You were posting pictures of my ass.
It is a good point, Corey. Like, I understand that you were excited to be on your date and everything else, but it's probably not the best idea to start posting pictures of the girl you're with, especially without her knowing. Like, if she was into it, then that's a different thing.
I know, man, but like I was really excited, and Autumn has a great booty, you know, and the date was going well, and I didn't really think much of it, you know.
I mean, how would you feel, Corey, if that happened to you, though, and she was invading your privacy, took pictures of your junk and posted them all?
Well, okay, first I would probably be a little bit flattered.
Yeah,
and then
I was going to say that's
actually, it's a different issue because
Okay, crotch shots. What if she was taking pictures of your crotch?
honestly, I wouldn't care. I
Yeah,
think
see, that's the difference between guys and girls. Like, if some girl were to do that to me, I'd be like, yeah, that's right. You go ahead and show the world what I'm working with.
Tag me.
So
Yeah,
weird.
that's probably not mine.
I got nothing to be ashamed of.
I do, but I would be still excited if somebody was doing that.
Oh, someone's paying attention to me.
Well, I mean, okay, Corey, you can understand why Autumn would be a little bit upset, though, can't you?
I mean, yeah, like philosophically, but like,
Oh, gosh.
you know, we were having a good time. It's not a big deal.
What is his problem?
You were sticking that butt out so hard, I just couldn't not look.
I don't think
Serious?
No, not for you. No.
she wasn't doing it so you would post it on Twitter.
It's like you've seen your first butt. Like, that's the experience.
Yeah.
It's how excited you are about it.
You guys don't know because you haven't seen the pictures of Autumn, but
I haven't.
her butt is special.
It should be very apparent why you're not getting a second date, Corey. But I will ask the question anyway. Autumn, would you like to go out with Corey again? We will pay for your second date.
Not if you paid me $1 million. Absolutely.
Good job, girl.
not.
I'll have the radio station live tweet it this time on Movin's account. No?
No, and no.
Corey, I'm sorry. No second date for you.
You know, what are you gonna do?
What, you're gonna not tweet photos of the girl you're out with's butt? That's what you do.
Listen, I like butts. You guys know this.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
I don't mind letting you down.
Are you looking for the thrill of your life? With Zadart, Seattle's only exotic car rental company, you can book a Lamborghini, Ferrari, and more. Visit Zadart.com, ZADART.com to book your exotic car ride.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
The girl on the phone for a second date update today met the guy that she wants to call because they live in the same building.
Oh, that's cute.
It's always easy when you live in the same building to meet somebody. The trick is you wait till they're not home, you break in, you steal some of their mail, and then you see them in the hallway and you're like, hey, I think somebody delivered some mail to me by accident. And then you strike up a conversation. It even works with TVs sometimes. Somehow your TV was sitting out in the hallway. It's in my apartment right now if you want to come get it.
Wow.
Is that illegal? Is that how you did it, Rachel?
Well, kind of similarly, but no, not at all.
So you didn't break into the guy's place, huh?
I didn't break any laws.
Okay.
But I did, I did put myself out there. Which
boring. I was hoping for an exciting story.
How'd you meet this dude?
Well, he just moved into the building pretty recently, and, I saw him, going up and down the stairs once, but we hadn't really talked more than, a hello, but I definitely noticed him. I definitely thought he was really cute.
And what's his name?
His name is Adam. And we actually got a chance to talk because we have these machines in our basement. We have laundry on site in the building, but they're kind of weird. They don't take quarters. You have to use these refillable cards.
Oh, I totally know.
Yeah, I know what those are.
Really, it's annoying and confusing the first time you do them. And so he'd never used them before. And I just happened to be doing laundry at the same time.
You just happened to drop some of your underwear on the floor in front of him. Oopsies.
She's only
but
washing
anyway,
sexy lingerie.
let me help you out with your problem. This is not about me and my lingerie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I accidentally put some of my underwear in his load so that when he got home, he'd be like, "Whoa, who are these?"
Yeah,
and then
you're
he'd
like,
give
"Whoa."
them back or something. So that's why I thought maybe it was similar to your mail idea.
So, what did you guys end up doing for your date?
It was actually his idea. It was really cute because we lived in the same building. He was like, "Why don't we just order an Uber since we live in the same place and have it pick us up, and we'll just go get some dinner and some drinks."
Oh, wait, so he's the one that asked you out after all that?
Yeah, I was clearly flirting with him, and he was like, I know we live in the same building. I could just knock on your door, but I'd love to have your number in case I have any questions. But I knew he was and I was like, oh, okay.
It was an obvious play to get your phone number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So he asked you out, and then you guys took an Uber to a bar.
Yeah, took an Uber to a bar. And it started out really great. We were in the cab, and the banter was really good. We could just kind of he's really easy to talk to. He's really funny. He seemed very relaxed. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember what he said, but after he said it, I was just cracking up, and I couldn't stop laughing. And I don't know why, but the words just came out. "Oh my God, I love you."
Well, you're saying it more in the way of "Hey, you're so funny, I love you."
Exactly, but regardless, you guys, I said I love you on the way to the date.
Yeah, that's not a good time to drop that.
Was it one of those record scratch moments where everything then drops?
Whoa!
Totally, and I'm I didn't really understand why, because I was like, "Oh God, I'm sorry. You know what I meant, right?" But it was I could tell it was really different all of a sudden, and so then I because it was so awkward, proceeded to really lean into it, and so I said I love you to the Uber driver when we got out of the car, and
compensation.
I was trying to make it a thing, but clearly it hit a nerve, and it wasn't part of the thing.
Were you just overcompensating?
No, yeah, I don't know what happened to me, but I just really wanted him to know that it was a joke and that I didn't mean it. But looking back on it, I do feel I maybe overdid it.
But did he get the point that you didn't mean it?
Yeah, I think he got it, but at the same time, I said it for the third time during the meal, bringing it up jokingly again, and he didn't laugh. And so that's when I kind of knew oh, and for me, when that happens, it just makes me want to convince someone even more that I'm sorry or kidding. And
You
so
might have been okay if you would have dropped it after it happened and made a quick joke about it and moved on.
I know.
Do you think that's why he's not calling you back?
Well, no, actually, he did call me.
Oh.
The date went fine other than I love you gate. And then he called me the next morning, but I was in the shower, and so I missed the call.
Yeah.
And he didn't leave a message. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll text him. So I texted him. I was like, sorry I missed your call. I was in the shower, winky face. Had a great time last night. We should do that again. What are you up to this weekend? Something like that.
Right.
And that was like 4 or 5 days ago, and I haven't heard from him.
Oh,
Really?
and have you seen him in the building at all?
No.
Because that's always a risky thing. At some point, no matter how this turns out, you're going to have to share an elevator or the laundry room again.
I just think it's really weird that he would call me and then not respond to me after.
Yeah. I mean, you could understand it if after a first date somebody said, I love you, and then you just never talked to him again. But the fact that he called you in the
I
morning.
didn't say, like, I love you. I'm not like, I get it. We're like,
Yeah.
But, like, it really seemed to, like, affect him. And I think that's why I kept going back to it, because even though I'd apologized once, it felt like it was, like, hanging in the air still. And I'm like, why? This shouldn't be this intense.
All right. Well, we'll play a song, come back, call him, and get your second date update, okay?
Thanks, guys.
Okay, hold on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Right in the middle of a second date update, if you're just tuning in, Rachel is on the phone, and Rachel is in love. For the first time in her life, Rachel has found love, and it's slipped through her fingers, and it's not calling her back. And love's name is Adam.
Poor Rachel.
All right.
If you missed Rachel recap her date, she met a guy that lives in her apartment building. They agreed to go out for drinks and dinner. And while they were riding to the restaurant, he was joking around. She laughed, and it just kind of slipped out. She said, I love you. And she thinks that's the reason he's not calling her back, because one, she said, I love you. And then she spent the rest of the date trying to pour it on that it was a joke and saying, I love you to everything and everybody. And just any way she could drop the I love you line, she would do it. And now he's not calling her back, and she's wondering why.
I mean, what do you like so much about Adam?
He was just really easy to talk to, and he was really funny. You know, like, a guy being funny is the most important thing to me.
I love funny guys, don't you?
I love him too.
All right, okay. I get it. Laying it on real thick.
All right. I'm going to dial his phone number right now and see if we can find out why he's not calling you back, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hello?
Hi, is Adam there?
Yeah, this is him.
Hey, what's up, Adam? How are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Hey.
Hey. What's going on today?
Not much. Why are you calling me?
Oh, just checking in, man. Just,
No, I don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, the real reason I'm calling is that somebody emailed us about you and asked if I could get you on the phone. Her name is Rachel. She actually lives in the same building as you do.
What?
Do you remember Rachel? Do you know Rachel?
Yeah, but why are you calling about her?
Well, because we do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. It's where if you go out on a date with somebody and then end up blowing them off after, they email us to see if we can get you on the phone and ask why. So Rachel's wondering why you won't call her back after your date.
I did call her.
Right. She said that after your date, she got a missed phone call from you, and then she texted you back and was like, hey, sorry I missed your call, and then she hasn't heard from you since.
Wow, she told you everything.
She did. She even told us about the I love you comment.
Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing for her.
Oh my gosh.
Is that the reason that you're not calling her back? Because she dropped I love you on a first date?
No, I actually thought that was kind of endearing.
Really?
Yeah, because she got so worked up about it. She kept saying it. And, I mean, I got that she just said it as, a saying. And I wanted her to move on, but she didn't.
You didn't help her at all. She said after she said I love you that you got super awkward.
I didn't get awkward after the first time she said it. I got awkward after the fifth or sixth time that she said it.
Yeah, she told us that she feels like she went a little too hard on trying to let you know that it was a joke.
I wouldn't say it was a little too hard. I mean, I was trying to get to know her, and she just kept saying it, and it just kept getting in the way of me trying to get to know her. I thought she was great, and I wanted her to just stop saying it.
Poor Poor girl. She was so awkward about it.
Yeah.
So is that the only issue then? The I love you?
No, I knew it was a joke, and I wanted to see her again, and that's why I called her, and the call went to her voicemail, and on her voicemail is this other dude who, yeah, he sounded like a real douche. He was like, hey, what's up? This is Rachel's phone. Leave a message because she's busy right now. And she's laughing in the background, and he's laughing about it, and it's like, what?
Weird.
Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So you're not calling her because there was a guy's voice on her voicemail?
Yeah, sketchy.
It wasn't just a guy's voice. It was the way he was talking and the way she was reacting to it in the background.
Don't you think it's just like a voicemail joke that just isn't very funny to you?
It didn't seem like it. Like, who's this dude? And why is she laughing like she loves it?
You don't know who the guy is? Why don't you just call her up and ask her?
I mean, I might sound paranoid if I call her up and I'm like, hey, who's that dude on your voicemail?
Yeah, I could see that being like, hey, was it another dude? You seeing somebody else? Like it's been one date.
Already?
But you are being that way since you're not calling her back and you don't know who this guy is. It could be her brother for all you know.
You're right. It could be, but it might not be. And it's only been 4 days. I still haven't decided if I'm going to call her back.
You know what? Why don't we just clear this thing up once and for all and ask who the guy is? Because she's been on the phone listening this whole time.
What?
Yeah. Rachel?
Hey, Adam.
Hey, Rachel.
So I guess I have some explaining to do. I'm kind of, I guess, relieved. But the person on my voicemail is an ex-boyfriend.
Whoa!
Okay.
What?
Why?
Good question.
I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, it's just my voicemail. I think it's really funny. I like the way he's putting on this, like, douchey, silly voice, and I sound really happy in it. It's just, it's just, to me, it doesn't seem like a...
Wait. Time out. You like the way your ex sounds and the way you sound happy with him?
Okay, look, it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, things didn't end badly between us, and I just thought it was funny,
Yeah, but it's over. Are you not over him? How long ago did you break up?
We broke up like 3 months ago, but no,
Okay.
I don't have feelings for him at all. It's just
Okay. So, yeah, you are clearly not over him.
Yeah.
Have you gone on any dates other than me since you broke up?
Yeah, I went on one, but I wasn't super into him.
Rachel.
But
Rachel, nobody listening believes that you're over your ex. Not one person.
Oh my God, you guys! Just because I have a voicemail with someone on it doesn't mean that I'm emotionally attached to them.
Oh,
We
no.
broke up, it's over.
I feel like...
People are Facebook friends with their exes. People get coffee with them. It's not. I'm not in love with him at all.
I don't know, but it just seems like you wouldn't even want to have hear their voice that often, let alone have that be on your voicemail all the time.
Well, when I listen to my voicemails, it's not like an answering machine. I don't listen to it. I don't even think about it. The only people that hear it are the people that call
if
me.
you like the way it sounds, do you call your voicemail and just listen to it?
No, that
call
is
yourself?
not something that I do. And honestly, Adam, I really like you, but we've only been on one date. And as we get to know each other, I'm happy to change my voicemail if it bothers you this much.
That's a big step.
It's not. That's see what I mean. It's not a big deal to me. It's just like I just feel a little on the spot and awkward right now. I just feel like I don't need to be bringing in my past. Right? It's my past. It's just a voicemail. I'm
But
not
it's not your
texting
past.
him.
You're still living in it.
Adam, she said that she'll take the voicemail down. That's a first step. I'm sure she'll get rid of her photo collages that are in her apartment as well.
She said she'd do it after we get to know each other. That's not, it's got to be done.
Well, hey, Adam, would you like to go out on a second date with Rachel? We will pay for
no.
it.
No.
That
No.
was quick, Adam. You don't even give her a shot, man. I mean, you've gotten out of relationships. We all have. And after 3 months, it's sometimes hard to let go a little bit. She's ready, man.
Yeah, she's clearly not.
You say, so it's a no. You're not going to give her another shot?
Listen, Rachel, I like you.
I like you too.
I think we got along really well. But I think there's some things that you need to examine. And once you've done that, hit me up.
Okay, so you mean
Oh my
3
God,
months?
Adam, come on.
6 months down the line, Adam, after she's had time to heal?
Yeah, I think so.
I
mean, like,
oh my
if they
God,
were together
Adam,
for a
you're
year-
making a huge mistake right now. I just want to eat food and make out with you, and I'll delete my voicemail. It's not a big deal. Like, I don't know what happened to you, but, like, if you have bad experiences with people messing around with their exes or something, like, there is no unfinished business, and if you feel this strongly about it, there's nothing I can say.
Come on, Adam.
Did you hear
Adam, eat some food and make out.
Yeah, that proposal doesn't fall into your lap every day, Adam.
Awesome.
If I weren't over him, would I be on the radio trying to get a second date with you? Come on.
It's a good point.
Would you still have his voice on your voicemail?
You could be my new voicemail if it makes you feel better.
Oh.
Wow, I'm honored, but I'm gonna have to pass.
Oh, I can't believe that. She was even honest the whole time. Come on.
Oh.
Sorry, Rachel. No second date.
Man, I really thought it was because of the I love you thing, and now I'm learning it's because of something bigger. And
It's because of the I love you thing with your ex. That's what it is.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Text in at 78592 that says, what's wrong with that guy who doesn't want to eat food and make out? What an idiot. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning talking about the second date update. Rachel wanted to call this dude named Adam. They live in the same building. They went out, had a good time. She thought he wasn't calling back because she accidentally was laughing at something he said and it slipped out. She said, I love you. And then the whole evening she kept making excuses and trying to point out that it was a joke when she said I love you. She didn't actually mean I love you. But the problem was he called her for a second date and she still has her ex-boyfriend on her voicemail.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to go out with her again because of that.
You can't blame him too much, but she did sound pretty cool about it. Like, I'll change it. It's not a big deal.
It's one of those situations. It's a deal, but you don't know why. It just doesn't feel right.
She didn't sound like she was still into her ex at all, but he was convinced that she was not over her ex because she left him on the voicemail.
Yeah.
Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, and we will call the person who didn't call you back.
Moving 92.5.
Are you single and feeling out of the loop? Put away that mouse and get out of the house. Join In the Loop, Seattle's brand new activities club just for singles. Go to intheloopsingles.com today.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
I can't tell you much about the guy that's on the phone that wants to do a second date update today, but I can tell you this. He owns a bad leather jacket.
Really?
Why do I say that? Because he met the girl that he wants to call today at a singles event, one of those singles mixers. And every time you go to one of those, just a bunch of dudes wearing bad leather jackets all the time. Every time I've seen one of those horrible leather jackets. Chuck, how you doing?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Good.
Oh, poor Chuck.
So are you owner of a bad leather jacket?
No, I do not. I do not own a leather jacket, but I did notice a bunch of really bad leather jackets.
Yeah, see? Look at any one of those things. It's just guys with greasy hair and bad leather jackets. So tell us a little bit about the girl that you met at this singles mixer. What's her name?
Her name's Rebecca.
Rebecca, all right.
And when I first started talking to her, like the first time I met her at this thing, I was kind of nervous, and I really don't think that I came across very, like, charismatic or confident. You know, I didn't really have much to say. So the first meeting didn't really go too well. Then I got to talk to a few more girls, and I warmed up a little bit, you could say, and I gained a little more confidence. And then the second time I went to talk to Rebecca, it went a lot better, a lot smoother.
Okay.
I'm always surprised that people actually meet somebody that they want to date at these events because I've hosted a lot of them and I haven't actually seen success stories. Like, what about her stood out among the group?
Well, this was my first time going to one of these events, and I actually brought a friend of mine because I didn't want to go by myself. So I really don't have much experience with these things. But what stood out about Rebecca was just that she seemed very classy, you know. She was well-dressed. She was very pretty. She came across, like, really intelligent, you know, like more so than me, probably.
All right.
That's cute.
So what'd you guys do when you actually went out?
Well, I wanted to take her somewhere kind of classy, you know, because I figured she was a smart, classy chick. So I actually heard about this art exhibit I figured that's a pretty classy thing to do, you know, art exhibit. Kind of an original first date sort of thing.
Right, and you impress her a little bit by going like, hey, I'm cultured. I know about all the art in town, baby.
Yeah. So we go to the art exhibit, you know, and you know, luckily they had a few drinks. They had some like wine there, and we had a few drinks while we looked at some art, and we, you know, talked about the sculptures and the paintings that we saw.
Who is more interested in the actual art, like you or her?
Well, I don't know. Like, I pretended that I was interested. Like, I don't really know anything about art, and certainly after a couple of glasses of wine, I decided to sort of talk like I actually knew something.
So you're sitting in front of like a painting, breaking it down, and you have no idea what you're talking about?
Yeah. Like, I would take a look at, like, one of the paintings, and I would be like, oh, I really like this avant-garde style and the use of pastels and
Were you just sort of spouting any art word you've ever heard?
Pretty much.
Look at those brush strokes.
No idea who the artist was, you know, what century it was made. Could have been painted yesterday for all I know.
Do you think she saw through it as like maybe you were trying a little too hard or you were a fraud or anything?
That was my initial thought as to why she's not returning my calls or texts. Because we had a pretty good time, you know. It seemed so anyway. We shared a kiss at the end.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we had a kiss, and that was it, though. I mean, there was no hot action, if you will.
Yeah.
But things went well, and I asked her if I could give her a call, and she was like, yeah, sure.
Okay, so it must not have gone too bad, though, if she's willing to kiss you at the end of the date. Yeah. In my experience, if a date doesn't go well, most girls are not open to a kiss.
It's so weird.
Yeah, I agree. I don't quite know what went wrong.
You know, I do think, though, I think it would have been more attractive if you would have just said, hey, listen, I think you're classy. I don't know a whole lot about art. Let's experience this together. Like, why weren't you just honest about it?
Yeah, that would have been a great idea, Brooke. I wish I had thought of it. Unfortunately, I'm not that bright. I don't know. I feel like maybe I didn't come across very genuine on the date, you know, and maybe she saw through that, and I just want the opportunity to, you know, maybe take her out again and perhaps show her, like, the real me, you know.
What is the real you?
The real me is a guy who likes to drink and play pool and watch sports and watch stupid movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I will say in the couple minutes we've talked, I think you're really likable.
You are. I agree.
Well, thanks. I agree. I may not be the sharpest bulb in the drawer, but I got lots of friends.
All right. Well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and see if that's the reason in your second date update, okay?
Okay, great.
All right, man. Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Chuck is on the phone with us, and he wants to do a second date update to a girl named Rebecca. They met at a singles mixer, ended up going out to an art exhibit, and Chuck thinks that he screwed up because at the art exhibit, he tried to act like he was refined and knew all about art, didn't know anything about it, so he thinks that she was able to spot that he was lying and isn't calling him back. Chuck, I really want you to be successful in this second date update.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I'm pulling for you on this one. I want to get you a second date with this girl really bad. Not necessarily because I want you to go out with her, but I don't want you to have to go to any more singles mixers. Because I know
they are pretty bad.
You said this is one of the first times you've been, and you don't own a bad leather jacket. And we talked about how everybody at singles mixers has bad leather jackets. And I know if you keep going to these, you're going to acquire one of those. And I want to keep you from getting a bad leather jacket.
Thanks a lot, Jubal. I appreciate that.
No problem. I'm just trying to save you from that leather jacket. That's all I'm trying to do here. All right, man. Are you about ready to give her a call?
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Rebecca, please?
This is she.
Hey, Rebecca, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Who is this?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. I'm calling you because one of our listeners recently sent us an email about you, and I wanted to ask you some information.
About me? An email about me?
Yes. It's a segment that we do on our show. It's called the Second Date Update. It's basically if you go out on a date with somebody and then don't call them back, they email us to see if we can get you on the phone and ask why.
Okay.
Have you been out on a lot of dates recently?
I wouldn't say a lot, but I've definitely been dating. I'm single, so.
All right. Well, this guy's name is Chuck. You know Chuck? Is that a yes? Is that a yes? You know him and you're not impressed by Chuck? Because that's what it sounded like to me. Or you don't know who Chuck is.
I know who Chuck is.
Okay. I'd appreciate it if you could just tell us maybe why you're not calling him back.
I mean,
he said you guys met at a singles mixer and ended up going to an art exhibit.
That's true.
Okay. He said at the art exhibit he was trying to act like he was smart and knew everything about art when in fact he really doesn't know much at all. And he thinks that you saw through that, and that's why you're not calling him back.
I thought he knew a lot about art, so.
Oh, you did?
Really?
Oh, so he fooled you.
He like pulled it off?
I thought he knew what he was talking about. I mean, I don't know too much about art either, so maybe that was...
Really?
That's awesome. Okay, so there's some common ground between you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we had a good time. He's very charming and a little rough around the edges, but in a way that was nice and what I liked.
So if the date went really well, then why did you sound so disgusted when I brought up his name?
Well, he kind of creeped me out. I mean, and not for anything that happened on the date. The day went well. I came home. I felt good. You know, went to bed, and the next morning I got up and logged into my Facebook, and I had a ton, like hundreds of notifications. Whoa. And I was like, what's going, why? And he'd gone through like every single profile photo that I've ever posted and liked them. So all of these notifications were him liking my photos. And they were photos, I like swear to you, from like the beginning of my Facebook like lifetime. Like, I mean, when did Facebook start? This must have been from like 2006 or 7. Like, maybe even before that. Like,
oh man!
But maybe.
Anytime anybody's ever been on my thing and I get a like from like 5 years ago, like, oh, that's creepy.
No, it's totally creepy. And what's worse, it didn't just stop at Facebook though. He went to my Instagram and like left a few comments too on like old postings, like kind of in a way that seemed aggressive almost. It was like, thank God I didn't have a Twitter account, or like, what would he done there?
He's retweeting tweets from 10 years ago.
I mean, you're telling me that you didn't look up all of his old pictures and Instagram?
Well, that's a good. I did look at photos, but I didn't like him, and I did not go back to like the beginning of his Facebook profile and be like, oh, you look adorable as a 24-year-old or whatever, whenever Facebook started. But that's like a huge red flag to me that, I mean, whether or not he knows the etiquette.
Thank you for sharing that with us, by the way. There is a difference between just looking at the photos. We know everybody social media stalks. We know that. There's a difference between looking at it and a difference between liking those pictures. Every single one, and old ones.
I think that is too far.
You're telling me that if somebody went on your Facebook, a guy that you dated, and started liking pictures from like 5 years ago, and how many pictures do you have on your Facebook, Rebecca?
Oh my God! I mean, like hundreds, like over 1,000 for sure. Like
he didn't like over 1,000 photos, though.
He liked like 600 of my normal photos, like photos I'm tagged in, photos I posted, like all of my photos.
Wow!
I think there was even a few events that he like liked on the way. Like who does that?
That must have taken him a lot of time.
Yeah.
Up all night.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's even creepier. I mean, that makes me want to not friend anyone ever. Like,
you know what? This might creep you out too, because he's actually on the other line listening and wants to talk to you.
Let me get this straight. You don't like the fact that I like your stuff? I mean, why would you put
That's a bad way to
stuff
say it.
on the internet if you didn't want people to look at it and, like, comment on it? I mean, I just wanted to know more about you, you know? I really liked you. I wanted a little background on you, you know?
I mean, is like 600 of my photos like enough background? Like, how much background did you need? Like, did you need to go back to what I looked like in 2006 and like enjoy that moment of my life? Like, I never assumed that someone was going to go back and like every photo and leave comments. Like, I mean, Chuck, you found a photo of me when I was 24 and blonde and posted something like, "Hey, blonde bombshell." I mean, like, you posted that on that. Like, why would you do that?
It's true. You were a blonde bombshell. I wasn't lying. Forgive me for thinking that you were attractive at age 24.
But don't you think that's weird? Like, you posting on these photos from, I mean, on my Instagram, too, like, how long did it take you to do that? You sifted through 600 photos at least. I mean, were you up all night?
Well, I don't really sleep very much, so I was just up online, and just sifting through photos.
Oh my God. Does that not creep anyone else out? Like, am I alone in this?
I kind of still think that he's likable and that you should give him a chance. I know that sounds crazy and I know it's really creepy, but he really doesn't sound like he gets it. Like, Chuck, do you just not understand how social media works?
Well, apparently I don't. I mean, if you're not supposed to like things, I mean, why is there a like button if you're not supposed to use it?
You're supposed
to put that there. I don't understand.
Because you're supposed to use it sparingly, Chuck. Like, use the like button like a precision sniper. One shot, right? You don't just go through with a semi-automatic weapon and just blow a bunch of likes across somebody's Facebook page. It's going to creep them out.
I thought it was a nice thing, I mean, if somebody went through my photos and liked them or commented on them, I would be, like, really flattered. I mean, that's why they're up there, so people can enjoy them. I was surprised that Rebecca didn't like any of my photos the next morning.
I mean, I looked at your photos, but I didn't, like, go through and like them all, because, I mean, like, it's so creepy. I don't,
Creepy, or is he just more honest than any of us? Because at least he admits that he went through and stalked it instead of pretending like he didn't.
Rebecca, I would love to ask you if you'll go on a second date with Chuck. We will pay for it.
I promise I won't like you. And then I'll go back and I'll stay up all night and I'll unlike all the photos if you want. If that makes you feel better.
I mean, I did have a really good time. That totally creeped me out, but maybe you are just more honest than the rest of us with our Facebook stalking.
Okay, so you'll go out with Chuck again?
I think, yes, I think I'll.
Good.
Yes. All right.
Oh, nice. Way to go,
Congratulations, Chuck. You got your second date. Now, I want to point out, you did get a date by a girl going, I guess.
I'll take it.
All right, whatever it is, you'll take it.
A win's a win.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
When your legs don't work like they used to before.
Are you single and feeling out of the loop? Put away that mouse and get out of the house. Join In the Loop, Seattle's brand new activities club just for singles. Go to intheloopsingles.com today.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
A good rule whenever you're upset about something and you're about to send a message, either a text message or an email to that person, is to count to 10 before you send it.
That comes from you.
And then read it again, and then add even more F words and more insults. Make sure that you've gotten the insults in there that need to be in there. You know what I mean? Make it even more aggressive. That's what I'm saying.
Because if you under-aggress, that's not good.
Yeah, no, you got to make sure that you get as many F words as possible in that hate message that you're sending to that person. No, you actually need to think about it before you send messages, and that's kind of what happened to Amanda, who's on the phone with us today. She wants to do a second date update, and she said some things to her date that she regrets. We'll talk about that in just a second, but first, Amanda, it said that you met the guy that you want us to call today online. How long did you guys talk before you actually went out?
We were talking for like a couple of weeks. We started out with emails, and then we were talking on the phone.
I'm always curious about that when it comes to online dating, how long you go back and forth before you actually set up a date.
Yeah, this time it was a couple of weeks. At a certain point, we were like talking every night before we went to bed, all the time, and I felt like I really got to know him pretty well.
That's the interesting part to me, because I feel like if you talk a bunch before you go out, you feel like you already are kind of in a relationship with that person before you even go out on a first date.
I don't know. It just felt like we were getting close. We were getting to know each other.
That's good, though.
Yeah, and when you met him for the first time, I mean, were you nervous leading up to this date since you guys were so connected already? You had a lot riding on it?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. It was so great on the phone. I was, worried that it wasn't going to be that way in person, and it was. It was really good.
All right. So tell us a little bit about what you guys did when you agreed to go out.
We just went to a movie and then went for pizza. I mean, it was just, really just basic date stuff.
Okay.
But,
That's cute.
And at the end of the night, I was pretty sure. I was oh, we'll have just, this great kiss at the end of the night. But something more sort of happened.
Mm-hmm. That great kiss turned into...
Yeah, I spent the night.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
Nice job, Amanda.
Yeah.
And your email included that, but it also said that you think he's probably not calling you back because you sort of freaked out on him?
Okay, well, so the next day I left his place, and I told him to text me, and he was like, yeah, I'll text you, and everything was so great that I thought he would, but then I didn't hear from him. And so I kind of freaked out, and I sent a couple of angry texts.
How angry of text are we talking?
I don't know. It was stuff I really kind of regret. It was just angry. It was stuff I shouldn't have said.
What did you say?
You got an example of what you said?
No, I mean, it was just I was kind of overreacting the fact that he hadn't called me back. And I don't know, he said that he had misplaced his phone, and that's why. And then I was like, oh, no. And I tried calling him to try to fix it, and he wouldn't pick up. And so that's why I'm calling you. I just want a second chance. I really blew it.
Is your hope to get him on the phone now because he's not answering your phone calls because you freaked out on him via text message, hoping to maybe he'll answer our number and then you can apologize?
Yeah, I just was he hadn't texted at all, and so it was just, yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah. And how much damage control? I mean, are you calling him an effing a-hole, or are you getting even more specific?
I don't know. It was pretty bad. So. but I'm not that. I'm not that way. And I want to apologize. Everything was so great that I just feel like he should give me a second chance, and I want to apologize. And it was just so dumb.
That's embarrassing when you do something like that and then somebody has a legitimate reason that they weren't calling you back or they were just taking a little too long. It's how dare you not talk to me all day? It's I got in a car accident.
Or my family member is dying.
My bad. All right, well, we're going to play a song, come back, call him and get your second date update, okay?
Okay.
Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Amanda is on the phone with us. She wants to do a second date update with a guy named David. They met online, ended up hooking up on the night of their first date. He didn't text her back for a few days, so she got a little angry and started texting him some things that she regrets. She said she was very rude to him, and then he finally texted her back going I just misplaced my phone for a couple days. Oh. And he hasn't talked to her since, so she's hoping to get him on the phone, apologize, and see if he'll go out on another date with her. Amanda, I think that maybe you got to think about some other options here, okay?
Okay, I mean, that's why I called.
I don't think sorry is just enough. I think maybe you need to think about some excuses you could use. Like when you get him on the phone, just go, oh, my friend took my phone. Sorry about that. I had no idea.
She's
Or you're
overprotective, yeah.
Hey, in my family, hole is a term of endearment. Like we say it around the dinner table all the time. Yeah. You ever think about something like that, Amanda?
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Cool. Okay, well, I'm going to dial the phone number right now, see if we can get David on the phone, and you can make your apology and try to get a second date, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hello.
Hi, can I speak to David, please?
Speaking.
Hey, David, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. You ever check out the show?
Yeah, I've heard it a few times. I'm just kind of confused of why you guys are calling me right now.
Because somebody emailed us about you, David.
About me?
Yep. Somebody that you recently went out on a date with. Her name is Amanda.
Amanda.
Yeah. You probably remember who Amanda is because after your date, she ended up sending you some pretty mean text messages. And then, you texted her back that you had lost your phone or something.
Yeah.
Well, she feels really bad about that and wanted us to call you today to see if that's why you're not calling her back.
Man, I had lost my phone for a few days, so I wasn't able to contact her. And I get my phone back, and I get like just a slew of just mean text messages, and that turned me off.
Yeah, I could understand that. How mean were they?
Like, I mean, I wouldn't want to say them on the radio. They're pretty messed up.
Really?
Really?
Can you give us like a PG-13 version of what was on your phone?
We're taping this right now, too, so
Yeah.
you can say it and we'll just beep it out.
Oh, I think it'd be really embarrassing to her, so I don't want to kind of put her in that position.
Yeah, but think about this, David. She's the one that emailed us to call you. She's already putting her business out there on the radio. And I really want to know what she texted you, because she wouldn't even really tell us. She just said it was bad. That was her quote.
Yeah, they were really bad.
Was it like the worst thing a woman has ever said to you bad?
I would go ahead and say yeah.
Wow.
Come on, David. Just give me one thing that she said.
Fine. 1 second.
Oh, is he getting the text message?
Yeah, he's
No, I
looking
like
up
it.
on his
Read it
phone.
word for word.
Still
That's good. I don't want
saved
it
him
to
on
get...
there, yeah.
Okay, I've got one.
Okay.
I've got one right here.
You actually saved him, David?
Yeah.
I would. They might be evidence in a court of law someday. You never know.
Of course, I had to save these. They were crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I guess I would keep them, too, just to be like, oh, man. So read one of them to us.
Okay, I got one right here. This one says, I'm sick of guys using me and throwing me away like a piece of trash.
Oh. ...
You're an ass.
All right.
Wow.
Here's another one.
Okay.
Just so you know, you're the worst lay I've ever had.
She actually insulted how you were in bed.
Yeah, this is all really up. I mean,
But couldn't you understand? She didn't know you'd lost your phone. She was feeling vulnerable.
yeah, vulnerable is one thing, but for her to send me these texts saying that I'm an ass, that I treated her like trash, and I'm terrible in bed,
Yeah.
that's not vulnerable. That's just crazy.
How many text messages? How many text messages total did you get from her in those 2 days?
Definitely more than 10.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh! In
All
2
right.
days?
It is understandable, David, why you didn't want to call her back and go out on another date with her.
I haven't even read the worst one yet to you.
Well, since we're putting it all out there, I think it's time to hear that one.
This one is the icing on the cake. Why don't you do the world a favor and chop off your own?
Come on!
Man, she went ham. She went in on you, David.
I know. I'm saying that's completely psychotic.
Wow.
Yeah. David, what would you say back to her if you could say anything to her right now?
Please leave me the hell alone.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to let you say that to her because she's actually on the phone listening.
Are you kidding me?
I'm right here. I feel really bad. I feel that. Wow. I'm really sorry.
What the?
Yeah, just hearing those back, that's really out of line. For me, it's so out of character for me, and I'm just
over text messages are the same kind of.
Well, I'm just really sorry about it. I don't know. You didn't call me back, and I figured, what the hell, we had a really good night, and I thought it was one of those things where, we have sex, and then you're out, and you're done. And I was just pissed. That's all. It was just stupid. I shouldn't have sent those bad texts because I didn't know you lost your phone. I just felt like you kind of ditched me. That's all.
I know all of that, but you just have to understand, that was super crazy for me to get my phone back and to get all that, it kind of threw me through a whirlwind,
Yeah. Well, you have to know it was super crazy for me. I mean, we had this great night, we had sex, and then I didn't hear from you. So that felt super crazy. And honestly, I'm saying I'm sorry here. I really am sorry. I'm saying I'm sorry. It's like, man, why you don't, go on Facebook and send me a Facebook message and say that you lost your phone? That just really sucks. And you're like, oh, I just lost my phone. Who the loses their phone? Doesn't everyone need their phone all the time?
Amanda, you're doing a bad job apologizing.
Or proving that you're out of character in those text messages.
Well, what the hell? I called you guys for help here.
Yeah.
And I said I was sorry. I said I was really apologetic. Like, can't you understand how this would happen? Like, supposing you go home with someone, you think everything's great, and then
Amanda.
call you back.
Amanda,
Like,
we
what
know. You're right. You're right. You were very upset, but I'm just saying when you're trying to apologize to him right now, but you're still kind of coming at him like you're mad.
I said I was sorry. What else do I have to do? I'm sorry. I apologize.
Amanda, do you think that, like, maybe you're not in a good place to be sleeping with people on a first date? I mean, because that's just kind of
it didn't feel like a first date because we've been talking on the phone for so long, and, like, you know, we really got to know each other, and everything was great, and you have a date, like, who the like 3-day rule? Like, nobody does that anymore. Everybody calls back right away. What the
Amanda.
Wow.
I haven't asked David if he'll go out with you again yet. You've apologized.
I apologize.
Okay. David,
sweet girl.
Amanda is saying sorry to you, and she would like to know if you'll go on a second date with her. I will pay for a second date if you'll go out with Amanda again. Will you do it?
What the do you think is so funny? Like, what the hell? Supposing you go home with somebody and nobody calls you back. It's not funny, and you're being such a head anyway with this laughing.
You're a crazy
I'm not a crazy
So I guess you guys aren't going to go out again then, huh?
No way am I going out with that ass again.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Amanda, I appreciate your fire, though. I really do. Yeah, spirit. A lot of spirit.
I'm just tired of going out with these heads who think, oh, I lost my phone. What the